Okay. Hello and welcome, everybody. Tonight we're going to be working from the workbook. I did it this afternoon. Symbol ostinato number 1. If you do not have the workbook, that's okay. Get the Gary Shafee book. I think it's page 11. And he does the bass drum and the snare drum. And we're going to work with a symbol ostinato with the right hand. Just a few things I'd like to say. First off, I think Gary Shafee is brilliant, great teacher, great player, and I had the fortune to sit down with him. Unbelievable guy. Okay, so let's get right to it. I mean, I should wait a little bit until the chat populates somewhat. But anyway, please enter the chat if you can and just tell me if you hear me or turn up the volume or shut up or whatever you want to say. Anyway, I'd like to do a warm-up with the symbol ostinato. We're going to play eighth notes on the hi-hat. I'm going to drop a 2 and 4. Hey, Paul. We're going to drop a 2 and 4 on the snare drum. And I'm counting 16ths. 1 E and a 2 E and 3 E and a 4. That's what we're going to establish. Then we're going to play 16ths with the bass drum. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. Now I would do that for 3 or 4 minutes. Okay, and I'm doing that right-handed, okay? So you want to do it left-handed now. We're going to do open-handed playing tonight with these patterns because you guys have been hanging out here for a while. We already know how to play the money beat, right? On the right side. So if you're right-handed, you want to make that left hand equal to the right. If you're left-handed, you want to make the right hand equal to the left. Hi, Ed. Okay, so now we're going to do the exercise. We got 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and I'll do that for 3 or 4 minutes. Okay? Well, yeah, and last night I had a problem. I'm sorry, I should just say that. Last night, I went to broadcast at 7, and I turned the system on, and there was nothing there. All the settings were changed for some reason or other. And I had to call California, and there's a 3-hour difference. I call California, I don't get him until 11 o'clock my time, our time, East Coast time, so that's like 8 o'clock his time. So I had to miss last night's lesson. I apologize. So, would you like me to make it up? I'm doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. 2 lessons. That's 8 lessons a week. I don't know. You can never make up time that you missed. But anyway, you understand what I'm talking about? Doing right-handed and left-handed. Now, if your 2 guys are the only ones who are going to be in here, we can move on to the combinations on ostinato number 1. Now, there's combination 23, combination 37, okay? Now, I like to play a few of them, both right-handed and left-handed. So tell me what pattern you want me to work on. So give me a clue, guys. What I've been doing between lessons, besides teaching my students that come here, I've been trying to put some formulas together for book number 2. And I'm working on some polyrhythmic patterns, like 5 against 4, 5 against 3, 5 against 2, all that good stuff. And I'm trying to present it in a very legible way so you guys could understand it. It's not easy. And we'll spend a little bit of time here and there on the polyrhythms, okay? And the formulas and reading. And I'll show you the unique way I have with reading. Okay, so any particular combination you would like? Listening, guys. What do we got here? Double kicks. How are you? Hey, listen, thank you for sending me that video. Whatever, I'm trying to figure that out. It looks very complicated. Yeah, you can get a complicated, but you sound really nice. And as far as the notation, I'm trying to figure that out as well. I don't know, I really have to take a really good look at it. If you'd like me to write that out, rewrite it, you know, and compare it to what you have. And then, you know, do you happen to have Skype, Mike? That's Double Kicks. His name is Mike. Very nice, Mike. I believe that's Michael, right? Anyway, do you have Skype? If you have Skype, here, make contact with me. I'd like to talk to you. That's my Skype contact. All right? And what I'm trying to find out is you got the notation on the screen, all right, with a metronome. And I want to learn how to do that. All right, why don't you make contact with me later on Skype? Where are you from there, Mike? All right, besides where you're from, do you have, if you don't have the workbook, which I never sent that to you, do you have Gary Shafee's pattern series, time functions? Do you have that book? Because that's what we'll be working with. And all this is the same thing, but it's written out with a variety of different symbol patterns. Paul, Ed, what combinations do you want me to work from? Oh, you're from Florida. Okay, good. I would appreciate if you do Skype me, make contact. I want to talk to you. Okay. Anyway, I got all of us together now. Jeffrey Johnson, Steve Forrester, Alan Herman, and myself. We're going to set a date where all four of us can come, sit down, and talk about the books and our dealings with Joe Morello. How's that sound, guys? A free broadcast. Paul, Ed, help me out here. And whoever else is here. What combination would you like me to work on? Or a particular, a different symbol pattern? Because you guys, you know, understand how to do that money beat thing. That's not a problem. You guys are advanced players. All of you. Now, this is simple. And as simple as it is, this is where you want to go with it. The other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I think you guys would really enjoy that broadcast. You know, Jeffrey Johnson's in Virginia, and Steve Forrester's in New Jersey, and Alan Herman at the moment is in China, but he lives in Manhattan. Where's your book? All right, let me pick. Let's do, you want to do the paradiddle ostinato? You want to do this one? How's that one sound? 2/16 in the eighth. 1 E and 2 E and. E and. All right. I think what I did, I'm not sure if I put that in the book. I wrote in the book a cymbal pattern where I'm playing straight with hat on 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I don't know if that's what you want. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. The E and 1 E and. Is that one you want, Ed? E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Is that the one you would like, Ed? Hello, James. How are you? Who's this friend of yours? His name is John. You said he wants to buy a book and sign up. I haven't heard from him. What's his last name? You want that one? 1 E and 2 E. It's a difficult one. 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and that's the one, right, Ed? So what I want to do with that, instead of playing, I could play it on the ride cymbal. Well, it gives me more color. I have options. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4, or 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. And I go, do I have that written out someplace? If I don't have it written out, let me follow it through the book. Let me see what I have. Yeah, I do. That's cymbal pattern number 5. E and. Okay. Let's use that as the hi-hat. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E. That would be ostinato cymbal pattern number 5. Is that the one? Ed, that's a difficult one. Very difficult. So you need to take your time. I need to take my time with it. So let's warm up with it. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Got it? Warm up with that. That's the one you want. Okay. So now we go through the whole thing with. I wrote out page 11 and 12, where he permutates the bass drum. We're doing the bass drum on the 1 and 3 first. 1, 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1, 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. You got to watch that right hand because I'm putting a little bit of an accent on the end. 1 E and. So I got 1. Hear that? 1, 2 E and 3, 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1, 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Okay, we go to the second one. What is this, Jim? All right, thank you, James. All right, so now we're doing that right-handed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, what I'm doing, like if you want some organization and you want to distribute the workload to the right side and to the left side, what I usually do, I'll take a stick control pattern right, left, or right, right, left, left. Let's do line 3. That would be right, right, left, left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 times right side, 2 times left side. 1, 2 E N, 3, 4 E N, 1, 2 E N, 3 E N, 4 left side. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Right side. 1, 2. So on and so forth. You get the idea of that one there, Ed? Do you understand that, Paul, Ed, Jim, and whoever else doesn't want to get into the gym? Michael, you understand that? Okay. Let's do the E now of 1 and the E of 3. How's that sound? And I will do these as slow as possible. I'm going to do them on the right side. 1 E and the 2 E and 3 E and the 4 E and 1 E and the 2 E and 3 E and the 4 E and 1 E and the 2, so on and so forth. You got it, Paul? You got it? You like playing it open-handed? Well, like I said before in the beginning of the lesson, I mean, if you're right-handed, obviously the left side is weaker than, because you're always used to playing the right. It's more comfortable. So you come out of your comfort zone, feels a little weird. So, you know, you're right-handed. You've been playing right-handed all your life, or since you've been playing. Now you want to experiment with open-handed drumming, or distributing the workload right side and left side, and it feels a little strange. So you're saying, oh, left hand, vacation is over. Let's, carry your own load. So you start working with the left side, and it's going to slow you down, which is a good thing, okay? The slower you play these things, the stronger you're going to become. And the slower you play them, it gives you the opportunity to adjust the voices inside of the figure, so you be more musical and you become stronger. No problem. Okay, so the E and is a nice one. It's a nice and funky. You have a couple options. I didn't write it out. Excuse me. The way I wrote it out was on the hi-hat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I'm doing some rearranging of the studio. So I'm putting my, hey Joe, I'm putting my instead of me playing the hi-hat, now I can have a couple different options. I want to put a little bit more color. So I'm going to play my hi-hat 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to play my right hand on the ride cymbal. 1, 2, 3 E and the 4 E and 1 E and the 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Actually, to get it really a nicer effect, what is this? Absolutely, Ed. The response, Ed is left-handed. So when you do the opposite hand that you're not accustomed to, believe it or not, it strengthens your hand. That, if you're right-handed, and I'm trying to strengthen my left hand, my right hand actually becomes stronger. And by rewiring, you said, which is a good term, I like that term. You're I don't know, you're making yourself stronger. That's all it amounts to. But let me get back to this. We have 3 different ways to play that pattern, and I only wrote the first way. And this is what I explained to you when you purchased the book. We're going to add to the book, and hopefully I can get you some PDFs. But the E and, it's written here, 1 E and 2 E and. You can put the hi-hat on 1, 2, 3, 4 if you'd like to, but that's not necessary. for just doing is 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4. That's the way it's written. Now, if I move my right hand to another voice, okay, I want to just say my ride cymbal. I'm going to add that hi-hat to give me that 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2. And that's another way, or what we can do is take the ride cymbal, and if you have a ride cymbal on your left side, do it left-handed as well, or right-handed, like reverse, whatever, you're left-handed. Now we can play the bell of the cymbal. 1. And it makes for some nice funk patterns. And I like that rewiring the mind. I like that term there, Ed. You're unique, my man. Does everybody understand what we did? That we changed, we did the way it's presented, I played it, but I've added 2 different ways. I could add a couple more different ways, but I don't want to overwhelm you. The object of a good teacher is for you to be creative. And I just played the hi-hat, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I did 1 E and. See that? 1 E and, or I can go 1 E and. There's so many varieties. So get the 1, 2, or 3 different ways down right now. Do them open-handed, okay? And work through the combinations. You guys can read all the combinations. Ed, Joe, James, Paul, Mike. Okay, good for you, Mike. All right, we all understand. We know how to do that. Just be creative. You know, there's no one way to do something. I'm making a presentation. I'm trying to make my students understand notation, understand right-handed and left-handed, color, sound, dynamics, and developing coordination. But that's not the end. That's only the beginning to a no-ending zone, man. I mean, it just keeps going on and on and on and on. And it don't stop. Now, next week, I'm going to be doing a few drum pad lessons. And what I mean by drum pad lessons is I'm going to work on a drum pad, and I'm going to teach the basic, I don't like to say rudiments, because to me there's only 3 rudiments. You know, doing some exercises, for example, from Joe Morello's Table of Time and implementing them into the stick control book. Developing endurance, singles, doubles, flams. But I will, James. Hold on. Ken, how are you, sir? Thank you for your email today. And yeah, I understand you work during the day. We're not all privileged like me to sit home and play drums all day. I used to work during the day too because I have a family, but then I used to work all night, playing gigs, teaching, working. It's not an easy life until you get to a point in life where you say, all right, that's all I'm going to do. And I'm going to do that drum solo for you too, James. I'm going to make a video of that. Now, playing fast, I don't know what you mean by fast. I mean, you know, these are exercises. 1, 2. Is that what you mean? Oh yeah, well, I'm going to do some linear exercises too, but I'm going to do the drum pad thing, and I hate to do the rudiment, call them rudiments, because rudiments means, or rudimental means, the beginning. Now, when somebody says rudimental, right away they go to field drumming. That's okay. Field drumming is totally different than what we're doing. Different approach, different texture on your drum set. Yeah, you have to have coordination, but it's all in your hands while you're marching. And they have a language, they call it the 40 now, basic rudiments, the Vic Firth 40, whatever the hell it is. It used to be just 13, 26, now it's 40. 3 rudiments, singles, doubles, and flams. And everything else is a hybrid. They changed the names. 5-stroke roll, 5-stroke rough. Nope, it's not a 5-stroke rough no more. It's a single 5. Why they do that, I don't know. This is what the hell confuses everyone. And I mean everyone. Okay? So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to I'm going to have to refer to them, and I don't like to refer to them as rudiments. Like the 3-stroke rough, the 4-stroke rough, the 5-stroke rough. You will get PDFs on this. Then we'll do flams, we'll do flam paradiddles, flamadiddles, paradiddle diddles. And I'm going to show you the movement with the levels, plus moving the accents around and developing patterns, both on the drum pad and on the drum set. Let me see what Ken has to say here. Well, that's really good, Ken. That's a very good thing to do. And I don't want to make a joke out of that with issues, but I mean, that's a gracious thing for you to do. But let me tell you something. Most musicians, most drummers especially, have what you help people with. But that's really nice of you. And yeah, you've been practicing and you've been playing for 40 years. You're like an angel, man, to help people. That's a great thing. My hat's off to you, sir. What you should do, yeah, well, we're gonna do all that. Ken, listen, do you happen to have Skype? I'd like to talk to you too as well. Or phone number, or I'll email you my phone number. We could talk on the phone, or we could talk on Skype. I invited Michael to that's the double bass drum guy. He has double kicks. He really has some nice things going on, and I want to talk to him about it. If you guys want to call me, you can call me. What else? If you have Skype, Ken. Let me put my contact back in there again. It's Matt Patella. I don't know. I'm not using spaces. 1. Just get on Skype and I'll accept you, and then we could talk somewhat. I have to get a new camera, but we could talk. It's just like a telephone call. Now, you don't have the book, Ken. You got to get the book, the workbook. You too, Mike, if you're going to frequent this. And Jim, you're having a problem finding the Joe Morello Master Studies book and the syncopation book? Contact me, Ken, and we'll talk. No problem. I really would like to talk to you. That's a very gracious thing that you do. I have total respect for somebody that does that. Helps people and doesn't want any reward. Well, the reward is self-gratifying, I believe, correct? Okay. Now, tomorrow's lesson, I don't want to do a review. I want to continue with these fatbacks, and I call them, they're not fatbacks. He refers to them as fatbacks, which I think is incorrect. What I feel is a heavy backbeat, 2 and 4. Okay? What is this? It's a heavy 2 and 4. And, Gary Shafee, many years ago, many years ago, uh, I've been teaching for a long time. I'm an old guy. And I used to live in Edison, New Jersey. Now I live in Somerville, New Jersey. So I submitted a resume to Berklee College of Music, Berklee School of Music. And at that time, this is after Alan Dawson was the director, Gary Shafee became the director. So I set up an audition for me to teach there. I didn't at that time have a degree, an associate's degree or a bachelor's degree. I just had experience, and I thought I was a pretty good teacher. I went up there to audition and sat in his studio. We talked drums, we played some drums. But one thing that really flipped me out with him, and that really turned me on and really, oh man, it took me in a different direction musically. He had in his studio a set of drums, nice little 18-inch bass drum, a 12 and a 14, a couple of nice cymbals, and he had a piano, an upright piano. He goes, all right, let me hear you play. So I sit behind his drum set. He gets up from his desk and sits at the piano. And let me tell you something. He played his ass off. Him and I improvised. Whoa. Man, that guy was a huge, big time respect for him. He's just a great person, great teacher, a great mentor. And he's just, he is a teacher. And I got word that, yeah, sure. I moved from New Jersey to Boston or the Boston area. Yeah, you could have the job and it paid X amount of dollars. And I said, okay. So I'm going to sell my house, which I had in Edison, and move up to Boston. Well, that didn't go over too good. Mr. Divorce was knocking on the door. Problems. Okay. But I don't want to, that's another story. You like the stories, right, Joe? And Jim? All right, listen. It's going past my time. I'm trying to really organize this thing. Like, I've been spending a lot of time on a computer, a lot of time. Did I go offline? Oh, boy. What happened? There you go. It crashed. Okay. What you have to do, Ken, is if you get on Skype, I'll tell you. What you have to do is go on to PayPal. And you pay on PayPal, but you have to send it to me as a gift so they don't take any money out. Well, you go to PayPal. All right, there you go. It crashed, that's all. I don't know why. It does that occasionally. It's probably a weather change. We're not fortunate enough to live in Florida at 90 degrees all the time. Right, Michael? Anyway, I will be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. We'll do some reviewing, maybe some new stuff. I don't know yet. So send it as a gift. They want their part of it too. Now it's $30, and that includes shipping. Where do you live? What state? If you live out of the country, it's not worth it. It costs, no matter where I send it out of the country, $24.50. And I don't really feel like charging somebody $24.50 for shipping. Anyway, if that's the problem, it's also available with the PDF format. You could print it out and make your own book. Okay? And that's a little less in money. All right, so now, with all that being said, all right, you're another one. And man, we got all these guys in Massachusetts. Man, are we going to have a grand old time? That's really good, man, on the East Coast. Because here's what I'm doing. Here's what I'm doing. I don't know if you guys are on Facebook. Whoever is on Facebook and belongs to all my Art of Drumming groups, We're going to be hitting 100,000 members sometime in 220. And what I intend to do as a celebration, and people who live on the East Coast or a little bit further, we're going to have like a drum intensive weekend on a Saturday and Sunday in New Jersey. And it's going to be a lot of work to get some greats to do a clinic, get them to come here on a Saturday or Sunday, you know? I'm going to try to do that. All right, anyway, let me get off this here, get something to eat, and crash. Gentlemen, whoever wants to Skype me, but give me about a half hour. James, Ed, Paul, Double Kicks, that's Mike, Ken, Joe Shields, all you guys have a great night. Come on, mouse.